So today I want us to discuss about an indicator that is found at the MQL5 markets, or rather this is an indicator that you can download for free from the MQL5 or the MetaTrader markets. So the name of the indicator is called the trend catcher with alert indicator. So basically this is an indicator that will show you on which trend you are in, or if there is a reversal or the current trend that you are trading in. So before moving into the charts, let's go through some bit of notes. So what does it do? So like I mentioned earlier, this is an indicator that detects the trend or trend reversals, or which trend based on the price action that is prevailing. So this indicator has got some variety of features that will show you signals. So let me turn on my whiteboard. Okay, so let me show you a brief skeleton of how the indicator works before we move into the charts. Okay, so let's say you are in a downtrend. Let's say the market is trending to the upside. Let's start with the upside. There will be series of higher highs, lower lows, higher highs, lower lows. Then let's say the price will start to accumulate. After price starts to accumulate, a downtrend will begin. Let's say the downtrend will start now. Yeah, so let's say this is our price action for today. Let's use this for as our price action for today, as I explained to you how the indicator normally works. So here there was some bit of accumulation where the price was neither moving to the upside nor to the downside. So when we turn on our indicator, before this push to the upside, let me use a black ink. Before this push to the upside, there will appear a signal below the swing low of this move. So our swing low will be right here. So there will be a black dot that will appear down here, indicating that the price is about to move to the upside. So, and in between these trend moves, depending on how you have customized the indicator, it will paint the bars or the price bars, the candlestick bars, in one color that you have selected, showing you that this move to the upside is still relevant and it's still strong. Even if there is a pullback, it will still show you this is an uptrend. So when you reach, let's say the trend has reached to its stop, then the normal candlesticks now will start appearing, showing you there is no trend here. Then the other is also true. The idea is also true to the, let me use a different color, to the downward move. So let's say the price is moving downward. So a signal that will appear here on top of the swing high, signaling the price is about to move to the downward, or rather the price is about to move lower. So basically this is how this particular indicator works. It will provide you signals before the move to the upside has started, or it will provide you with signals before the move to the downward has begun. and this particular indicator is not like a standalone. You will have to use it with a variety or other different indicators. So moving on. So what are the key features? Like we already stopped. So this particular indicator can be used as a trailing stop, as it adapts to the current market movement. Also, you can customize it. You can customize the particular indicators like any other indicator, like the way you usually customize the moving averages. You can adjust its sensitivity to suit your trading style. Okay, like I talked of, it can also be used as a trailing stop. Also, you can use this indicator to set alerts on if you want price to reach at a particular price point. You'll set an alert and it will send you an email or a pop-up or an alert sound. So let's move on quickly before we move on to the charts and see how it works. So why use it? Well, number one, you can say you can use it to identify strong trends earlier. You will do so as a trader. You would ideally want to get into a trade, or rather you will want to get into a trend at the cheapest price possible. If it's a buy position, you will want to buy the price at the lowest possible position, and if it's a sell, you will want to sell it at a much higher price and exit the market at a much lower price. That is for selling. Also, this particular indicator will reduce your screen time, as it has got an alert feature inbuilt that will send you the email, hey, the price that you wanted to reach at this particular point has now reached. So this particular indicator can be used to set alerts. So this indicator, as I said, it usually shades the entire trend in one color to show you that the trend is still moving and it's still strong. So this can be used as a risk management tool that will help you to minimize over trading, or can put your emotional or your emotions in check. How will it help you? By the signals that it provides that I demonstrated earlier. Well, some can say that it's good for beginners, but for me personally, I think this is an indicator that suits both, whether you are a beginner or an experienced trader. So also, this is an indicator that you can use to filter out good trades, and you can use it in collaborations with other indicators like the RSI, the moving averages, and any other indicators. It's not like a standalone indicator that you can use it to identify trades only. So it's mainly advised you use it at the higher time frames, mostly at the H1 time frames. I mean at the 1 hour time frame. That's where it's mostly used or relevant in. Avoid trading just on signals. So you can use, like I explained to you, avoid using the signals in the indicator alone. You can use other indicators like the RSI to see the current trend or the sold and oversold position, but mainly on the RSI. I will show you a strategy where you can combine the RSI and this particular indicator. So before applying any trading strategy, it's always advisable you go and back test it. You can go and demo trade with it, see out the results and how it will play out. So Our fourth point is don't chase every alert. So, like in any other strategies, there will always appear some false signals. So, it's up to you as a trader to build up a system where you can filter out the fake signals and the high probability setups. Always go for the high probability setups only. Then it's mainly ideal for accounts that have low spreads and that are less volatile. This one particular drawdown in this indicator, as we will see some of its pros and cons, it's not ideal in environments where the volatility is very high. Okay, someone can say like volatility is good for a trader, or volatility is what a trader wants, but also don't forget the same high volatility can also act against you. So it's based on using this indicator, works based on those moderate or medium volatilities. So let's move on. So what are the benefits and what are the pros and cons of this indicator? So easy to read its signals. It's just as basic as that. The signals it provides, they are quite easy and simple to read them. It's like a no-brainer. So this particular indicator will suit those traders who love trading the trend, or trend followers traders. Well, for traders who usually have the difficulties on entries, this particular indicator will support your discipline while in taking trades, or it will support your method of entering markets. It's customizable. A trader can customize the particular indicator. You can either increase its sensitivity or decrease it. So what are the cons? Like any other trend indicator, it's a lagging indicator also, but personally the lag in this indicator is slightly less compared to the ones in the moving averages, particularly those guys who trade the crossovers. The crossovers usually have a huge lag, but this one you can find the lag possibly like, let's say, 2 or 3 bars only. So this is not meant for those guys who like scalping or trading the ranging markets. Like I demonstrated to you, it's a trend following indicator, even from the name itself as it suggests. So it needs confirmation to filter out false signals. So you will have to be patient. One of the key attributes of a good trader is patience. If you can master the art of being patient, then this particular indicator will also suit you, as you will have to wait for the signal to appear that it's an uptrend that's about to start or a downtrend that's about to start. So, caution of advice: it's not meant to be used in ranging markets, high spread pairs, and during low volumes. Also, as I told you earlier, it's not meant in high volatility, high volatility pair markets. Also, it's not meant for low volatile markets. Oh, and something that I have forgotten to mention, the currency pairs you can apply it on mostly are the currencies with the US dollar as the quote currency. So the final tip before we finalize on our notes: always practice risk management. use the correct lot sizes, place the stop loss at the correct region. So for the stop loss and take profit, this one I will demonstrate to you when we move to the charts. So, and this strategy is meant to support this in particular indicator is meant to support your strategy but not replace it. So I think we are done. So let's now move into the charts and see how to set it up, or rather let's see how you can download it, set it up on your charts, and how you can use it to interpret or get signals. So this is Euro USD. I will be using Euro USD to demonstrate how you can use the trend catcher to identify possible trades. So let me switch to the daily time frame. Now, like we discussed, this is an indicator that you can't find on your normal list of indicators. If you go to the trends, you won't find the trend catcher. If you go to the oscillators, similarly, you won't find it. When you go to the volumes, you will not find the trend catcher indicator. So how would you set it up on your MQL5? On your MT5. So you will come here to this particular icon that has been written open MQL5 market. So when you are on the MQL5 market, you will come across various different assets that you can use, or various different tools that you can use. Now from this panel here, you can see you can access the experts. So these are mainly the trading bots. You can access them. So if you hover your mouse on top of them, you can see or read the different types of bots here. And if you are interested, there's a price tag attached to it below it that you'll have to pay. So this means these are paid for bots. Also, there are bots that can be used for free. When you come to this drop down menu here, you will see there is a free option. So when you click free, so you'll see, like for this one, range breakout trading bot, that this is a trading bot that is used to trade breakouts only. But for us, our interest today is indicators. Also for indicators, there are indicators that are for free and the ones that are paid for. You can also come to the libraries and you can check out. Also there is utilities also, like one utility that's usually used in the trading view. It's usually the sizing tool or the position tool, like the long position and short position. If you want to insert one, you can insert it through the MQL5 market, and one of them is the trade assistant. This one will help you in calculating, especially it comes handy in your risk management part. But our goal today was to come and see the particular indicators that you can get from the MQL5 that are for free. So I'll come to the indicators section. On this drop down menu, I'll make sure to have selected free. Now after you have selected the free, there will be a variety different. The list goes up to 135, as you can see here. So our indicator today is the trend catcher, a trend catcher with an alert. So for me, I had already downloaded it. If I can use a different one, trace or indicators, free. So if I can use, let's say, a fair value gap. So you can come, if you want to download this particular indicator, you'll come here where it's been written download, then click on it and watch out here, and that's it, it's saved. If you want to access it, you can go to the navigator. Here it is. So that's how you can download an indicator for free from the MQL5. So back to our indicator. So for me, I'm going to use the trend catcher indicator with an alert. So let me now show you how to set it up on your MT5. So I'll go back to EURUSD. So this is EURUSD on the daily time frame. So you'll be asking yourself, how do I access it? So after you have downloaded the indicator, you'll come here to insert, then select indicators. So the indicator will not fall in the trend, oscillators, volumes, or Bill Williams. So you'll come here to the custom, then go to the bottom part or the bottom of the list. Okay, sorry. You'll go to the bottom of the list. Yeah, so it's here. So our indicator is it's this one. If I can, sorry, I hope it's visible on your part. So here is our indicator at the bottom. So I'll double click on it, and now here is where we can input it. So one thing I forgot to show you, there is a set of instructions attached to it. Be sure to read it. One of it, this indicator should be used mostly on the 1 hour time frame. So on this pop-up menu, I'll come to visualization, then here where they have ticked all time frames. So this means it will appear on all time frames, but for me personally, I wouldn't want it to appear on all time frames. I would want it to see it on the 1 hour. So I'll untick it. So here on the minutes, I'll untick that box, untick the daily, untick the weekly, and untick the monthly. So on the hours time frame, there are different time frames. There are different hourly time frames. So I'll click the plus icon, untick this one. I will untick this one, and this one, and this one. So I will only remain with the 1 hour time frame. Then I'll come here to the colors. So my uptrend stop, I'll give it everything related to an uptrend. I'll give it one color. Alright, I hope you have understood. If it's an uptrend, I'll give it one single color. So for my uptrend my uptrend signals, I'll give it black. No, let's say I'll give it blue, a dark blue. So everything that has got my uptrend stop, uptrend signal, blue. My uptrend line, also blue. So also down here, open, high, low, and close. So this means the highs will be, this is the color that will be used. So this lime green is the color that will be used to shade every every candlestick that is on the uptrend. So I'll give this one also blue. Sorry, I didn't see this one. Also here it's a blue. This is my uptrend line. So everything that goes down or an downward trend, I'll give it black. So also the candles that will be going down, I'll give it a black color. So that's all about the customization. So I'll press OK. Now you guys have noticed that during my customization I didn't use the normal red and green, where the red color will represent bars going down, while the green will represent bars going up. Well, so from this indicator, I told you earlier that when it's a downtrend, it will print all bars in one color. So in my case, I decided to use a downtrend. I use a black color where all bars will be painted black and all trending up candles will be painted blue. Let me switch to the 1 hour time frame for you to understand what I'm saying. So this is what I was trying to explain to you. When the market starts ranging, this is one of the places where this indicator fails to provide a trend, since this indicator is only based on trend. Now take an example of this region here. From here all the way down here, you can see how this indicator captured this downward trend perfectly. Also, when you look at this region here, from down there till up here, you can see how the indicator captured the upward movement of price accurately. So what are some of the features of this indicator? Now, for bullish signals and bearish signals, these are what represents the price or the signal of whether the price is about to turn bullish or whether the price is about to turn bearish. That's why I decided to use decided to use only two colors to represent every aspect of a trend. If the trend is up, everything should be in one color. So I think you now understand what I'm trying to say. So now since blue represents an upward move, when you see a blue dot appearing below a swing low, this will signal a move to the upside. And you can see from my crosshair where this signal appeared, then the price started to trend to the upside. If you can measure, it moved about 853 points. That is roughly around 85 pips. So conversely, for a downtrend, the same is also true. When a downtrend signal appears, then the price moves downwards. So from our notes, we said this indicator is not a standalone. You will need to add other confluences, and for this case we will use a moving averages. So I will use a 20 moving average, but now on the method of calculation it should be smoothened. This will bring the clear movement of price or the clear movement of the trend. So I'll press OK. Then again, I will want a medium moving average. So I'll use a 50, but now this won't be a smoothen, this will be a 50 EMA, exponential moving average. Okay, let me change the color, let me assign it a different color. I would want to assign it a color that will be visible. Let me increase its thickness. Yeah, I think that should do it. So for us here, mainly what we are looking for, it's the candle closes. Now if I can take an example, now let us take this example. This signal appeared at this point. Let me decrease the thickness of the vertical line. Now let us use this vertical line. As you can see, where this signal appeared, now the downward move started to appear. If I remove the, if I can remove the indicator, you will also see this candlestick, they would have been in a downward move. So how can you also use the moving averages? So you would want to see this price close below these two moving averages. So how, if you can see this bar, this first black bar that signaled the downward move, it closed above the move, so meaning we could not take our position from here. But now after a while, the price managed to break out through the two moving averages. So this would have been our ideal place to enter the market. If I can use a vertical line, this would have been our entry point, and probably if you want a better place to set the stop loss, you can drag your price or your stop loss above this swing high. You see this one, above this swing high. Well, it's nice if you can give it a bit of space there. Let us measure our stop loss distance. Okay, 18 pips. Some usually go for a 30 pip stop loss. So where does our 30, personally I use a 30 maximum of 30 pips stop loss. So where could I have placed my stop loss if I was to measure 30 pips? Well, it will be at 640.40. So I will move my stop loss to 640.40. That's around there. And I will go for a 1:3 risk to reward. 1:3. So this means I've risked 30, I want to gain 900. So where will I set my take profit? Here. So my take profit would have been here. So this is how we would have entered such a position. Let me change this color to blue, custom blue. So this will be this will be how I would have set my take profit, and my stop loss would have been in this region. So this would have been my position in this downward move. Now, how about an upward move? Let us move to another currency. Let's try out at Euro USD. Remember, the indicator performs best when the US dollar is the quote currency. Also, you can go and try out where the US dollar is the base currency. So on Euro USD, let us look for a long position. Now this would have been a nice setup. Let us look for a nice trend to the upside. Okay, now let us go to this. Let us try and filter out this trend. So how would you approach this one? Remember, this is the this would have been your latest, or rather, let me put it like this. Now remember, this would have been your latest signal. So we want to look for a buy position. Let me load the candlestick slowly. Now, after the price has moved, this is where now the indicator detected a potential move to the upside. But now, this candlestick, yes, it did close. This candlestick did close above the 200 smooth curve. Sorry, above the 20 smooth curve or moving average. But now, from our strategy, the price has to close above all these two moving averages. Also, there should be a break of structure. So if we can look to the left of our side, this was the latest lower high. Since it's a signal to the upside, we expect to see this high being taken out. So if we can zoom in, the candle closed above the high of the previous trend. This means the character has shifted, or the guys from Smart Money will tell you this is a change of character, meaning we have changed from a downward trend to an upward trend. And again, the price has closed above the 20 smooth curve. So if someone is an aggressive trader, opening a long position here would have been ideal for him. But if you are someone who is less of a risk on sentiment, or a risk, or someone who wants some high probability setup, you would have waited for the price to break above the 50 EMA. So in our case, since there is a break of structure here, I would have entered in the next candlestick. So if this was my position here, let's say I would have entered at the open of the position, and I would have placed my stop loss below. Since the low of this trend is closer to my entry, I would have placed my stop loss just below it. But remember, for me personally, I don't enter trades that the stop loss, where I'll place my stop loss and it's more than 30 pips. That would be quite difficult because I used my stop loss to get my position sizes. I hope you understand how you can use your stop loss distance to gain your position sizing. So if I can measure this stop loss, it's about this stop loss is about 71 pips, so I would have gone for a 30 pip move. Now let me measure. Yeah, here. This would have been where I would have placed my stop loss and my take profit. Would have been at this point here. 1:3. So this would have been my long position. But now if you can look here, I would have been taken out before my take profit was hit. So if you would have been a more conservative trader, you would have waited for the break of this structure and enter a long position at the open of this candle. So your open position will have been here and targeting 60 pips, since, or rather, yeah, targeting 60 pips. So this is where the 900 points is. So this is where the 900 point is. And for my stop loss, it would have been 30 pips from my entry. So this is where my stop loss would have been. Sorry, let me measure it again. Yeah, at this point here. Now you can see the difference between the two positions. For someone who is more aggressive, has a larger probability of being taken out before waiting for all confirmations to align than someone who is more conservative, who can wait for all his confirmations to be aligned before taking a position. So this is how basically I can use a trend catcher alert. So in our next video, I'll show you how to set the alerts and how to use them in your trading strategy. So thank you for watching the video. Please remember to like the video share the video, and also consider subscribing to boost the channel's algorithms. Thank you.